Today we will be discussing a case study in which one of our clients, a reputable defense contractor, upgrades their T1 serial and phone service to a 10G Ethernet backbone using our JumboSwitch. This particular customer had an existing TCCommInc system that provided T1 serial Ethernet and phone services over dark fiber. The contractor hoped to reuse the fiber for a 10G Ethernet ring while still maintaining the T1 serial phone and interfaces over the same dark fiber circuits. Having worked with TC Communications on multiple occasions, the contractor approached TC for a solution. Our engineers developed a solution using our JumboSwitch TC3850-1 10G multi-service Ethernet switch, with additional JumboSwitch cards to create two 10G single-mode fiber rings for the main site and 5 additional 10G single-mode fiber rings for 5 remote sites. With 1U and 2U rack-mounted units housing the necessary JumboSwitch interface cards for T1, RS-232 serial, and FXO data, TC Communications' solution allowed the customer to build a scalable, ultra-reliable fiber backbone supporting extremely low latency without having to sacrifice any of its critical lines for communication. Initially, the customer required transmission of T1, RS-232, and FXO data between 8 sites, which were divided among a main building and 4 other buildings. TC Communications' solution at that time involved using TC8800 telephone analog and fiber multiplexer, in addition to TC8518 T1E1 data voice and Ethernet fiber multiplexer, to transmit data over a point-to-point network using dual fiber for redundancy. When the upgrade was requested, TC supplied our TC3850-1, which provides a 10G carrier Ethernet ring, while allowing for the legacy T1 serial and phone interfaces to be maintained. This client had 2 main requests. First, the main site would have 2 10G rings to allow 10G carrier Ethernet between buildings and 1G Ethernet rings at sites where 10G Ethernet is not required. Secondly, 5 remote sites with 10G Ethernet rings with 2 nodes each. In addition to Ethernet, the T1 serial and phone circuits were maintained. This combination shows the flexibility of the JumboSwitch. The following diagram gives an idea of the network topology for the main site. To provide each of the 10G rings, the solution called for a TC3850-1 2U rack at each node of the ring shown in the diagram in blue. As the main number 1 site is a node for both rings, all 4 of the 10G SFP ports were used, 2 for each ring. In addition to the 10G rings, additional JumboSwitch interface cards were added into the TC3850-1 racks and 2 spare slots reserved for this purpose. The TC3845-1 provided 4 channels of T1. The TC3847-1 provided 4 channels of RS-232 serial data, and the TC3848s provided FXO and FXS ports. For the remaining non-10G sites, shown in green, the necessary interface cards were placed in 1U racks and connected using the 10100 1G Ethernet also available with the TC3850-1. All of the interface cards used were identical between racks, minimizing the number of spares. Each of the 5 remote sites had identical setups. The 2 TC3850-1s were used to form the 10G ring. The remaining 2 slots contained the interface cards for the FXS, FXO, and RS-232 serial channels. The 2 additional 1U chassis provided the interfaces for 8 channels of T1 at each building. The redundant paths were achieved by using single-mode fiber pairs. The following diagram shows the setup at each of the 5 remote sites. In conclusion, a few weeks after TC engineers provided training on the point-to-point TC3850-1 units, our client deployed our JumboSwitch equipment at the 6 sites, which consisted of 7 10G fiber rings and 28 chassis in total. Please visit TCComm.com You can find any of our videos by clicking the link from the homepage. You can also find information about any of our products by clicking the drop-down menu in the top right corner. You can also get in touch with us by clicking on Contact Us, also in the top right corner of our homepage. Please like and subscribe for more content. And as always, thank you for watching.